Welcome to GLHF. Today, we're bringing you the 10 best free MMO games for PC, starting with number 10, Adventure Quest 3D. Adventure Quest 3D is a cross-platform game for PC, Android, and iOS based on the classic point-and-click browser game Adventure Quest. The game is obviously made for mobile, and you feel it right away with the suboptimal controls on PC. That doesn't mean you still won't enjoy it, and it's a great choice if your computer is really weak. For those of you that love the original Adventure Quest, you would enjoy Adventure Quest 3D, which feels a lot like the original, with the same corny jokes and fourth-wall humor, and the same classes you're used to from the original Adventure Quest series. Number 9. Trove. Trove is a free voxel MMO game that feels a lot like a weird cross between World of Warcraft and modded Minecraft server. In the game, you'll pick a class which can be changed later and slowly level it up through questing and clearing dungeons. The game can be overwhelming at times with the endless amount of different materials, currencies, and resources combined with the different buffs and leveling mechanics in the game. The game has a free market as well as your own plot of land where you can heal up, craft items, and fully customize it. That plot of land can be transferred easily around the world whenever you find a free plot that can be claimed. The microtransactions are very much present in Trove, but you can grind around most of it, which makes it less egregious. Number 8. Warframe. Warframe is probably the best on this list when it comes to lore and the amount of content it has. The game looks great and can definitely feel like a AAA title at times, but you get sucked out of it right away when you notice how much you're encouraged to spend money on the game in the form of microtransactions. The gameplay is still fun. There's a huge skill tree and buff system to master and go through with several classes as well. You also have free trade, which is great to have in a looter shooter like this game, which has a lot of RNG elements tied into it. Number 7. Path of Exile. Path of Exile, at first glance, might seem like a free-to-play version of Diablo. The game offers probably the largest skill system you'll ever see in any MMO game. The skill system would give you an infinite amount of combinations to play with and a ton of variety on top of the equipment customization options you have through gems. Variety is always great to have in terms of replayability and keeping things fresh, but if the meta make only certain builds viable, then the variety is completely useless. Number 6. WoW Classic. Taking a note from several remasters in the past few years and another game in this video, Blizzard has created a classic version of World of Warcraft and reverting the game all the way to 2006 to give you some nostalgia. Just like its name, the game is very much a classic MMORPG game from the mid-2000s, and if you want to relive the glory days of WoW or want to see what it was like back then, WoW Classic is great for you. Number 5. Dauntless. If you've ever played Monster Hunter World, Dauntless is the free-to-play equivalent with many of the same mechanics but a different art style. Other than being on the Epic Games Store, there is not a lot of bad things you can say about the game. It's pretty fun, cooperative, and very easy to get into. The biggest plus to Dauntless is that you can play it with literally any of your friends because it's available on the Xbox One, PS4, Switch, PC, and even Android. And thanks to the game's cross-play ability and it being a free-to-play game, you can play it with probably every person in the world. Number 4. Albion Online. Albion Online is a great free MMO game with a huge map, a free location-based economy, randomly generated dungeons, a ridiculously large skill tree, and plenty of other great features I wish other MMO games would implement. Complete quests, gather resources, craft items to upgrade your own equipment so you can slay every enemy. Once you're tired of adventuring and you've reached your endgame, it's time to find a good guild and join the PvP scene of the game. Like I said before, the game has location-based economy, which means the free market is based on offers made in the same location on the map rather than worldwide, which creates an interestingly realistic geo-based supply and demand situation. Number 3. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a great free MMO pick for many reasons. First of all, it's very noob-friendly and accessible to casual gamers while having an endless amount of in-game content to go through. Just like in every MMO, you have several classes with different and unique skills to progress through the world, whether it's in PvE or PvP. The biggest plus to the game is the fully voiced-over story. Like I said, there's plenty of content and a ton of unique community and timed events, so there's really not a single dull moment for you in Guild Wars 2. Number 2. Old School Runescape. This renewed 2007 version of the Guinness World Record holding RuneScape 3 would be a hit or miss depending on how open-minded you are to the game or if you've played it in the past. Old School RuneScape is an old snapshot of RuneScape that was created due to popular demand from the game's community. We're 7 years later with a lot of new content introduced into the game and a lot of quality of life updates that make Old School RuneScape a great game on top of the nostalgic element it has. Old School RuneScape is now more popular and successful than the main game, with way better graphics and resources behind it. It's not the nostalgic part of the game that keeps people coming back to the game after all these years. It's the very fun and simple point-and-click and idle gameplay the game provides, together with very surprisingly challenging PvM content and a very highly skilled PvP community. No one expects a point-and-click game with a really old graphic style to be this successful and challenging, but thanks to a lot of mechanics built into the game, some on purpose and other by mistake, the game has a lot of fun and challenging bosses and a very challenging PvP scene. Number 1. Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is an easy pick considering it was originally a $60 AAA title that went free to play not so long ago with the original studio Bungie, who are responsible for the super successful Hall of Fame-worthy Halo franchise. The game has its flaws for sure, and sadly a lot of great content is locked behind a paid DLC, but this is the best free-to-play FPS MMO looter shooter out there, so it makes for an easy pick. There's a storyline which is decent, endgame content to keep you around after you finish everything, and, of course, PvP so you can use all that gear you grinded hours to get. What is your favorite free MMO game? Make sure to write it in the comments, and on your way there, give the video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Thank you guys for watching, good luck, and have fun.